Hello guys and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be learning how to cut this beautiful 6 pieces skirt. This is very beginner friendly as usual. Okay, so there is a lot to learn from this tutorial, so just sit tight and yeah, let's get right into this tutorial. So guys, first of all, you want to fold your fabric, and I'm using 6 yards here. I'm not going to make use of all the 6 yards, okay? So first of all, fold your fabric into two. We are going to start cutting the center piece, okay? The center piece of the front and the center piece of the back, okay? Now I just marked the length of my skirts, okay? So whatever it is that is the length of your skirt, like from the waist down to the feet, all right? Then I'm marking from my waist to my hip. My waist to my hip is 9 inches. You can see I'm marking that right there. Now just go ahead and rule a straight line. Then next is to mark from my waist to my knee. Guys, if you are taking your waist to your knee, make sure that it is above your knee, okay? So that you would be able to walk. Not directly on your knee, it should be above your knee, okay? Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to take my bust pan measurements. Yes, okay? You're going to be taking your bust pan measurements. Mine is 4 inches. So what I'm marking is 4 inches. I'm still going to go ahead and add my 0.5 inches seam allowance, okay? So I'm marking 4 inches right also at my hip. You can see right there, I just marked 4 inches as well. Then I'm going to connect from my waist to my hip as so. And then I'll come down to my knee, okay, because you know this is pieces skirt, it needs to have a shape, okay, like it's coming together like a fish shape at your knee and then it's flaying out. So whatever you have as your bust pan, remove 0.5 inches at your knee. All right, so my bust pan is 4 inches. At my knee, I marked 3.5 inches. Then at the length of my skirt, I'm marking how wide I want my flare to be. So I want the wideness of my flare to be 20 inches. So on fold, what I marked right there is 10 inches. Okay, guys, hope you are following. So right now, I'm going ahead to connect from my knee to the length. And then this is optional. If you want yours to be curvy at the edges, you can go up by 2 inches and then just rule a curve back again to the center front. Okay, so what we just drafted out right now is the center front, like the center piece of the front. Don't worry, as we go on, you're going to understand better. Okay, now next thing I'm going to do is to add 0.5 inches to this. This is going to be the allowance we're going to use to join to the side pieces. A 6 pieces skirt is 3 pieces in front, 3 pieces at the back. So right here, we are drafting out the center piece of the front. When we are done, we're going to use it to draft out the center piece of the back and then go ahead to draft out the side pieces of both the front and the back, all right? So I'm just going ahead to add my 0.5 inches round, and then at the length, I added 1 inch for my seam, for my hemming allowance, all right? And that's basically it for the centerpiece. Now I'm going to use this centerpiece from my front to draft out the centerpiece for the back. Okay, this is very simple to do. Now you can see what this is looking like, and I'm going to show you what that curve down there is also looking like so you can see. Now guys, for the back, you want to make sure that your fabric is on fold, okay? So you can see I'm using the front part of this Ankara just so that you guys won't be confused, okay? So make sure your fabric is on fold and then place the center piece of the front on top of your Ankara like so. Then make sure that you have enough space in front for the tail of the back, okay? Now, this is the back. I'm going ahead to add my zipper allowance at the back. My zipper allowance is 1 inch. You can see I'm marking exactly 1 inch. And I'm just going to add it all through from my waist to my knee, 1 inch zipper allowance. Okay, just very simple. 1 inch zipper allowance. Then for the tail of the back, I'm going to as well take 10 inches. All right, I'm going to mark 10 inches. You can see I'm marking 10 inches right there. Okay, so you can also as well go up by 2 inches to form that beautiful curve for the edges. And then the next thing I'm going to do is from my knee, I am going to rule a straight line down to the length of my skirt. So now what we have here is the center piece of the front and the center piece of the back, okay? You can see I'm going up by 2 inches for the edge of my skirt for the curve, all right? I want it to have a curve at the edge of the skirt, and I'm connecting that back to, just continuing it at the edge, sorry, at the hem. And then just go ahead and cut this right here. We are cutting the back. Don't be confused. This right here is the back and it has our zipper allowance, okay? And then this other side is going to be used to join to the side pieces, okay? Now we have our center piece for the front, center piece for the back. The next thing we're going to do right now is to use the center piece of the front again to draft out for the side pieces. Now you can go ahead and fold your fabric into 4 to cut out your side pieces for the front and the back at the same time, because it's just the same thing. Nothing is different. It's just the same thing. Don't forget to nudge at your zipper allowance, okay? Nudge at your zipper allowance. Mine is 1 inch, so I just went ahead to nudge right there. And you can see how beautiful this back piece is already looking. And you can see the tail at the back where I came out by 10 inches. You can see the effect right there. Then for the side pieces, you're going to use your center piece for the front, which is what I have right there, and place on your fabric, okay? Make sure your fabric is on fold and make sure that you have enough space at the other side, okay? You can see I have enough space at the front, okay, for the tail of the sides. Now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and cut out these pieces. I'm just going to follow the shape of the side for my center piece. You can see what I'm doing, okay? Then when you are done, we are now going to go ahead and shape out the sides of the side pieces. Guys, please do not be confused, okay? So now what you want to do is to go ahead and mark from your waist to your hip. Mine is 9 inches, and also mark at your knee length, okay? So you can see I'm going ahead to just make those lines really bold so that you can follow me properly, okay? Then please go ahead and nudge as that your knee point. It is going to be very useful because we're going to remove this center piece from this fabric, okay? So please nudge at that your knee point. And then at the down part, you also want to, measure or take out how wide you want the tail to be for the sides, okay? So I'm also using the same 10 inches. If you don't want this to be too flayy, you can reduce yours to like 7 inches, okay? Or 8 inches. I still made use of the same 10 inches, and I also went up by 2 inches for the curve of the edge, okay? Now, guys, you can draft out your side pieces for your front and back at the same time. It is the same thing, nothing is different. And when you are done with this, you want to go ahead and remove the center piece from the fabric and place it like so. They have to be facing each other. This is the way it is going to be joined, okay? So you want to place it like so. And then at your waist, you want to divide your waist round into 4. All right, so my waist round is 28 divided by 4. I have 7 inches. Don't worry, we're still going to be adding our seam allowance later. Then come down to your hip. You're going to divide your hip round into 4. My hip is 40 into 4, 10 inches. So I'm going to mark 10 inches right there. So guys, for your knee round, you can go ahead and measure your knee round, or you can go ahead and remove 1 inch. What I did was to remove 1 inch from what I have at my hip so that I'll be able to walk well. Okay, you understand? So you can measure your knee round, or you can just go ahead and remove 1 inch from what you have as your hip round. So you can see I'm connecting from my hip down to my knee. And then the next thing I'm going to do is to connect from the knee down to the edge of this skirt, down to that down part, to the length of the skirt. Guys, that's basically it. Now the next thing we are going to do is to add our seam allowance. So for the seam allowance, please go ahead and add 1.5 inches for your seam allowance, okay? 0.5 inches is going to be used to join to the center piece, okay? Then 1 inch is for the seam allowance, okay? This is going to be having lining. It's going to be having a lining. So we're still going to turn this fabric with a lining and then now join it together. So 1.5 inches is just okay. All right. So now I'm going ahead to just cut this out. this is just the same thing. This is the side pieces are the same thing for both the front and the back. So you can go ahead and fold your fabric into 4 if you can, or you can go ahead and cut for the front and then use this one again to cut for the back. All right, and that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this particular one again to cut for my back. So guys, please make sure to go ahead and nudge at your knee. Very, very important. Please nudge your knee. Okay, you can see that everything is just looking the same and looking confusing. So nudge your knee just so you know where it's going to be joined to the center piece of both the front and the back. And that is basically it for this tutorial, guys. I'm going to be dropping the sewing tutorial very, very soon. This is just for how to cut your 6 pieces skirt. You can see how beautiful it is looking here. I'm going to be dropping the sewing tutorial very, very soon. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you've learned something today. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Bye.